Welcome back to the Bills, Bets, and Beers. I'm the host, Chad. If you're new to the channel, it's going to be a channel where I discuss football, mostly going around the Bills, but I'll be hitting major topics throughout the year as well if anything comes up. Um, also, I'm going to be going through my lengthy but plausible player prop parlay bets I'm going to be putting in every week. Um, Especially on Sundays, they're going to be pretty big, probably towards 10 to 12 parlay bets, just spreading throughout all the games. Um, and also, I will be doing tasting and rating of tasty brews. I'll be trying to grab them from our area, from like local breweries and stuff like that, but doing some mainstream ones as well. So let's get to the video. It's going to be uh, regarding the 2022 NFL future bets. So I leaned more towards divisional winners, and I put in an 8-leg parlay bet on that. So second, there it goes. Sorry, dude, I'm still new to this, so maybe a little rough. Let's start off. For the AFC East, I decided to go with the Bills, obviously, but I just don't think Miami's ready to even try to challenge the Bills in the division. It's not going to be close. I think we're going to win by probably have a 2 to 3 game lead at the end, at like at the minimum. Probably gonna be more than that, depending on how Tua plays. Then let's shoot over to the NFC East. I really didn't want to touch this one, but I wanted to make it interesting. Just choose all the divisions, and I decided I was leaning towards Philly. They're coming in at the odds of like plus 130, and Dallas was at 135. I think Philly's just a better rounded team, more depth, and especially with all the trades they've been doing lately, they're just kind of put them over the top. Next up, it's going to be the AFC South. I am going more towards the favorite, the Colts, and they're coming in at minus 140. The Tennessee, which was interesting, they came in at plus 190. So, I mean, if you like those odds, which they were nice, I just decided to go with the Colts because they have their monster running back, and I think Matt Ryan's going to put them over the top with the difference between Tannehill and also, I mean, AJ Brown left Tennessee as well. I'm interested to see how that's going to run. Next, and then coming up is going to be the NFC South. That's one of the easiest divisions to choose besides the AFC East, and obviously I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their odds are at minus 280. Obviously, the favorites. But, I mean, you can't choose anyone else in that division. No one's ready. I mean, the Saints team is pretty good, but they're lacking at quarterback, so they're not going to make that big of a splash. I think they're going to definitely get second in that division, but it's got to be even close, probably 4-game difference. Okay, coming up now is the AFC West. This was an interesting pick. I think people are going to not agree with it, but I did not go with the favorite, Kansas City. They were slotted at a plus 175 for the odds. I decided to go with the Chargers. They're going to give us a plus 220, and honestly, wild. This whole AFC West, the Broncos came in at plus 275, not that far behind the Chargers. So I think the Chargers have a better rounded team at this point just because Casey's defense kind of got mangled up in the offseason with people leaving and even on the offense with people leaving. So I think the Chargers kept more, if they gained more instead of losing it, and they already had a really good defense. So I went with them at this point. Now, the NFC West. That is going to be not super interesting. I think the Niners are going to be pretty close. They came in at odds of like plus 160, but I'm going to go with the favorites, the Rams. Their odds are plus 120, and I don't see them losing their division this year. They might get caught up in the playoffs, but they also could make the Super Bowl. So I think they're definitely going to be taking that division. So I chose that. Next up is going to be the AFC North. this kind of shocked me when I looked at the odds. They actually have the Ravens at plus 130 odds over the Bengals that are at plus 160. I don't know why. I mean, I'm guessing just because the Ravens were hurt so much last year that they didn't have like their potential was really limited and they still did pretty well. But I'm going the fence with the Bengals. I'm sticking with them. I think they still have a better team, especially offensive wise, with how the ground gone from the Ravens now. And defensive, they're not that bad either. They retained Bates, so I think it could be interesting. I think it's definitely going to be a 1 or 2 game difference, but I think the Bengals are going to take it. And then last is the NFC North. So NFC North is definitely going to be. I don't think it's a toss up. I think it's going to be the Packers, and they came in at like minus 170. The next one behind them were the Vikings. I think they're like plus 120 or something like that. It's tough to go with the Vikings at this point. I think the Vikings are definitely going to make the playoffs, and they can make a run towards getting to the championship round for the NFC. But I just don't see. I mean, I just don't see the Packers losing their division at this point. Even with Devontae Adams gone, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make the best of what he has. So, all totaled up with the 8-leg parlay and all those different odds, it comes up to a plus 21,938. Those are really big numbers. So I put in $10. Put a $10 bet down. Like I said, I don't put too high of bets. I'm not like risking my house to put these bets in, and I don't have like a big I don't have a gambling issue. I just like to put some extra money down because I don't do the coffee thing or a lot of extra stuff and throughout like the normal like week. So I don't see no harm if I'll put in $5 like a week put towards betting. I mean, most people spend that on coffee in a day. So when I put the $10 down though, it got the winnings is going to be $2,203. So just by putting 10, I'm literally times again by 20, like 20,000, whatever it is. So it's going to be pretty interesting if I get that. That'd be a nice little tap at the end. Put that towards some heating bills because that's going to be ridiculous this year. Okay, up next we have. I'm just going to be talking about some upcoming videos. I already have it planned, and I just have to actually do the video for it. But I set up a 7-leg parlay bet for the Thursday night Bills Rams game. I'm gonna be dropping that video maybe tomorrow or Wednesday at this point, but it's pretty interesting. I think it's very likely that these things can hit, but bets like that are all up in the air at this point. So, and on top of that, I also put in another parlay bet for the Sunday games, every single Sunday game. So it's a 16-leg parlay at this point. Well, I put in the Bills game as well on that. I think the Bills, the Thursday night game, and the Monday nighter. So I got every single game, all 16 games this week, on one single parlay. Those odds are crazy towards the end. Obviously, I'm most likely not going to hit it, but I chose over unders, just winning in general by the differences and stuff like that. So I'm excited to go through that video with you guys as well. And if I hit on that this week, definitely look in for next week because the odds of me hitting it again are pretty low. But if I get close, or if you like what I'm putting down, and you decide to just I don't want to take that risk of putting all of them in, then you can take only a handful of what I put in there and go through my explanations. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm just a fan of football in general. So I watch a lot of it, and I try to pay attention as much as I can to all the differences, like people getting hurt, traded, stuff like that. But I think that's going to wrap this up. Uh, if you can, if you like the content, like and follow. Just subscribe and do all the fun stuff there. And big week this week. Opening days coming on Thursday, and a huge Sunday coming up. So I'm pretty sure everyone's just gonna have no plans. Hopefully, at least for people playing on Sunday. So go Bills and have a good night, or whenever you watch this video.